Villains in video games have gone hand in hand since the dawn of man. The earliest video games had bears, I believe. So today I'm going to be talking about different kinds of video game villains and how amazing they are. I'm going to say now that I will be categorizing these villains, and if you disagree where I put certain villains, leave your opinion in the comments and I'll try to reply the best I can. Anyways, let's get into it.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person.
It's hard to really label any villain as just pure evil, but the first one that would come to mind is Glados from the Portal series. She relentlessly puts you through tests while degrading you essentially just for fun. Her ultimate goal is to kill you, and as far as I know, there is no reasonable reason why. Even when you try to escape, she hunts you down. I will say that in Portal 2 she had something of a redemption arc, however she just reverted back to her old evil self almost right after. Glados is such an amazing antagonist, and if you haven't played either Portal games yet, I highly recommend it just for the interactions between you and Glados.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
The Master from the original Fallout is just so horrifying and great. I remember the tension buildup just from how well it was done. The Master is a melted combination of flesh who has been fused with the supercomputer, and he is the reason there are super mutants in the wasteland. After completing your primary task of obtaining a water chip for your vault, you're tasked with destroying the Master in the military base where most of the super mutant related operations take place. I think what made the Master so scary for me is that he was just such a believable villain. The reason he wants to convert humans into super mutants is because he believes that super mutants are the next step in human evolution. And if you think about it, he's right. They're immune to disease and radiation, they can't die of natural causes, and are way stronger. This is why the Master even has human followers who fully believe in his cause, and form something of a cult for him. The only flaw in his big plan for humanity is that the super mutants cannot reproduce. One of the ways to defeat the Master is to convince him that his plan is doomed by showing him the proof from the Brotherhood of Steel that shows the super mutants are infertile. Something I strongly believe is that if this was not an issue and super mutants could reproduce, some people on the internet would legitimately agree with him, and that's what makes him so great. It's also amazing how he is the reason you see super mutants in every single Fallout game. His impact on the wasteland was absolutely huge, and he is definitely one of my favorite villains.
Bring in Vanderlyn, and you have my word you won't swing.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game about characters, outlaws on the run from, well, the law. At the time Red Dead 2 took place, things were changing. Dutch and his gang start getting hunted by a new order of civilization. The same could be said for any other group of outlaws. What I found so interesting about this game is that if you played it through the eyes of the bad guys, Dutch and the gang would look like the villains. It's all a matter of perspective. You could look at them as killers and thieves, or you could look at them as people who were wronged by society and just want a fresh start, no matter how hard that fresh start will be to obtain. Villains of authority will always feel good to fight against if done correctly. Pushing back at someone who tells you that you're insignificant and constantly tries to force you into submission is very satisfying. The last villain I'll be talking about today is Tom Nook. Me and some other people genuinely believe that Tom Nook is just so misunderstood. Yes, he puts you in loads of debt, but if you stop to actually think about it, Tom Nook is hands down the most generous loan shark. You quite literally do not have a time limit for when you need to pay off your house, and on top of that, there is no interest or any kind of money buildup. He also is teaching Timmy and Tommy economic principles and considers himself a mentor for them. He considers them his nephews, although they aren't related by blood. Tom Nook is the most generous capitalist, and I will die on this hill. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and let me know in the comments what you would want to see next. Thank you for watching.